Okay, my hometown is a very small town in Hungary, and no freedom, no help, and lots of killing. There was a town called Auschwitz where the Hungarian people were transported to and killed because they had no use for Jews, and Jews are the end of the people, and that's where I came from. In the train, my grandmother was with us, and that's where we found out that we are taken somewhere in the unknown. And that's all I knew. And I didn't know my mother or father, if they were alive or dead or anything. He told you the little time in Hungary, she came to the wedding from there. This is me. Time has changed, you know. A lot of things, but the things that I mostly would like, as I said, a family, which very little I have of, but I'm trying to preserve, and I'm trying to tell them to keep it alive. Don't go into the world just to fight and make a future. Future doesn't come from fighting. The future comes from peace. And I would love them to have a peaceful life. That's my aim. Not that I'm going to reach it, but that's my want. That's what I would like. Because they, soldiers were taken. I thought about religion, I thought about that everybody's equal, nobody's different from anybody else, everybody is the same, and that's it. But yeah, all one goal, to keep the world free.
William Danhauser. I was born in Englewood, New Jersey, not far from here. My earliest recollections of living there had to do with playing baseball with my father on the side lawn, and seeing my father come and go to work. He commuted by bus to New York. And so we we often waited for him in the evening, waited for him to come home and watched the buses come until he got off one and was home. As far as I recall, I had a very happy family life. I got a couple of other classmates, and we started looking for schools, and we ended up 4 of us ended up going out to the University of Colorado, which was a great break for me because I met my wife there, my future wife, and I began to work in theater work at the University Theater, which led me to a career that I would have otherwise not had an opportunity to participate in. One of the shows that I was unit manager on was a comedy show called Martha Raye Show. Oh, I don't know. It's very difficult to say. I can't see how it would be possible to transport the younger people that I encounter, that I have encountered. I don't encounter them here, there are none. There's nobody here that's young. I guess it seems old-fashioned. My own life in terms of how others could live theirs, which is not something I do often. But my experience was to follow my heart in terms of things to do. I felt a great, not reluctance, but sadness about leaving the area here where my family was to go out to the University of Colorado. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me. It expanded my life considerably. I got to know a lot about the world that I would otherwise never known.
My name is Johanna L. White. Well, I was born in Germany. The city's name was Küstrin. I think it's no longer in existence. We left in 1937. My mother was very bright in that respect. My father didn't want to leave, saying Hitler's not gonna last. Impossible. Not in Germany. Crazy ideas like that. My mother did not believe it. And she had a niece in the United States. And she was worst late getting out. And she said to my father, if you don't want to leave, I'll send the children out. Well, that he wouldn't do. So he left his congregation and we came in 1937. And coming to the States was a little difficult, but we made it. We grew up in an Orthodox environment where you have certain restrictions, so you have discipline. You grow up with certain restrictions, and you know what you can do, what you must not do. You shouldn't tell lies.
What would you want to do the most if you can time travel back to your early stage of your life?
I don't want to go back to the early stage of life. They weren't good. And as I said, I'm much happier now because life is better. I'm happy this way. And I think I'm luckier this way. I still do volunteer work. I do a lot of knitting, baby hats, school children's hats and scarves. It's a tough question. The young generation has different outlooks. And I just tell them to try and live a happy life. That's all I can tell them.